Hey, so yeah, how's everything going on? And yeah, how's your day going on so far?
Good, Tatiana. How about you?
Yeah, good, good. So like, how's your life as a playwright going on? Like how did it start? That it was is like this is what you want to do,
That's a
and
good question. Really good question. And I always get asked that, or how did I become a playwright? How did I become in the industry? But like, it's a really good question. I base my plays around autism, which I have, which is a disability, right? And and that's basically number one because I want to teach people the truth about life, and I think that life is very precious. It's extremely important for the people who are listening. And, in my opinion, as Matteo, because, and I have a responsibility, number one, to represent my community as an autistic person. Number two, I want to give the people a voice who don't necessarily have a voice in the autistic community, right? And I think that it's extremely, extremely important to do that. And how did I become a playwright? Well, I always loved music. I always loved, but I never thought that I would become a playwright. And that, I always wanted to do technical theater or set design, which means an architect for the stage. But of course, due to talent is really, I can't become a designer because designers need degrees, and because of my autism, and I'm not trying to put post-secondary schools down, but like the stuff that I've seen with my own senses is awful. Like the um the hypocrites, the cruelty, the all the all the complicated stuff that people that people don't want you to know, but you pick up as an autistic person. I'm am I happy that I pick it up? Yes, because it makes my world better and it makes me more understand the world around me. So and it makes me write more honest and true plays and shows and all that stuff. And but the people want me to tell them about their flaws. Being like, for example, was recently in a situation. I want to tell you where, but I was recently in a situation where I turned to somebody. I turned to one of the many people in my life, and I said, I have a disability. She turns around. Yeah, I can tell. I mean, you don't ever fucking say that. You don't ever treat anybody like that because it doesn't remind you of who I am, which is a human being, Matteo Esposito, a human being, an autistic playwright, but it reminds me of what I am, which is a person with autism. And I say person with autism, and people don't like that. Oh, why are you saying a person with autism? Because I'm a human first. Think about it. When I come out of my mom, no offense, I'm a human. All the mental health, including physical health, comes later. As a 2 week born child, you don't really get the autistic genes until five, six, seven, eight, or beyond. So that's why I say it's a person with autism because we're a human first, a human being first, autism second. It's like, you know, and that's the basis of what I do as a writer. Like I take inspiration, and inspiration can come from anywhere. To the John, like you know what I mean? Like from a poster to the John. Like even in the shower, some people get some of the best ideas in the shower apparently, which doesn't work for me. But you know what I mean, right? Um, it's just, but yeah, like I've been like that was just a mild experience. Like I've been around to see stuff. I've been around to experience stuff, and it just breaks my heart every time that people actually treat not only me or my breed, as in the autistic breed or the autistic spectrum, that way, but but if they um if they treat us like that way, and I'm pretty high functioning, like you can tell by me talking and be conversing, and then just imagine the people who are nonverbal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the people who don't have any disabilities brush it off. But why should they brush it off when somebody's being so disrespectful to you? Like, and like as if to insult you, or like it's like, can you can you give me some patience, please? Now, well, it's like the same thing. If some, can you give me some patience, please? Why should now? Why should I? That's the same as kind of saying, yeah, I can tell. No, why should I? Keep going. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You ever fucking talk like that to me? And after two emails, I emailed this person, no response. Of course, because he doesn't give a shit. Like most people, people have to start giving a shit. People have to start caring because, and people are going to say, well, you're too sensitive, Matteo. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not sensitive with that. If you think that I'm overly sensitive with that, then you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And then, well, don't call me an idiot. So you're too sensitive with that, then, I would say. You see what I mean? It can go fire right back at the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fucking idiot if you think that I can, if I need to take that. Oh, don't call me an idiot. Oh, so it's, so you can fire back, so you can um, put a knife in my back, but I can't put a knife in your back, and you don't like it, do you? That makes two of us.
Yeah.
That makes two of us, right? And that's, I think, where the basis of my place comes along. The honesty, the purity, the real life aspects. Like I heard many, many times about this one particular play that I wrote, and I'll get to it in a minute. It's called Sorting It Out. What it is basically about how we treat people and about this young, cocky, stereotypical millennial. Everybody knows who they are, right? Especially in today's day and age, they can be so rude, disrespectful, unassuming, unappalling. All this negative stuff that I don't want to say about them, but it's actually true. And they rather cause riots, like in the streets about certain groups and certain stuff and certain. And just the other day, I was watching a news channel. I live in Oakville, Ontario, so it's half an hour away from this news channel, and these young people were stealing. Young people, like teenagers, breaking and entering. Why are we getting to that? Because, and these are young people, these are not older people. I understand if they're older people wanting to get food or whatever, I get it. Seal, it's not like a seal, but you know what I mean. But young people, what like what is it, a freaking break in and shopping spree on the town or the city, like, and then you'll be part of our clan,
Yeah.
huh? Like, what is, where is this world going? You know what I mean, right, Satyan?
Yeah.
Satyan, you know what I mean, right? And
Yeah.
I think that's why my plays are poignant and powerful, and that's why they got the productions that they got and the responses that they got. So I'm so happy. I'm so blessed that as a writer, they got some amazing, amazing, amazing experiences. Um, Especially sorting it out, going around North America. So I'm so happy, so happy. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. My pleasure, my friend. So, like, as a playwright, how do you manifest your creative process? Um, despite the, yeah,
Right.
like, yeah.
So Yeah. So manifesting my creative process, like well, plays are rot. They're not written. What that means is draft after draft after draft after draft. Even if after my fifth production of sorting it out, which actually happened in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, of sorting it out, where we got 129 people in a high school auditorium, Catholic high school auditorium, that that we didn't that we used. We didn't have the high school presented us. They did not. But we used that, and and we got 129 people in there, including a lot of special needs people from the government. Kevin Flynn, who I dearly love, he used to be the former Ontario Minister of Labour. He's amazing. He was an amazing man. He still is around. I haven't seen him in years, but he came to the show and he was like, and he was impressed. And one of his team members emailed me. We were so impressed, and we loved the show. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And you know, and he's a lovely man, better than a lot of the, I hate to say this, other politicians that really want to present challenges to the general public because, and I'll get to that in a minute, because it's about money, power. Money equals power and control. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Money equals power and control. But anyway, we had them. We have Kevin Flynn. We had Kevin Flynn, who is one of the nicer, like I said, nicer politicians out there. There's a lot of rude and politicians that don't really care about the city or town. They just want money. And if you really think that they care about the town or city, think again. Whether it's in the Canada or in the States or a dictatorship country, they don't care.
Yeah.
They said, why should we care when we are actually stealing from the poor to middle class and giving it not to the rich buddies that we have in the town or city, but a rich corporations that are run by families. And I dare say that because it's the truth. Although it can't be run by families, look it up. Look up the Rothschilds and Rockefellers for your information. And that's where you get your true information. The Rothschilds were brought back by Babylon, as far back as Babylon, which is a few years after Christ was born and Christ died. So it's like really a complex, longevity system. And I hate to say this for the people who don't believe, but we're kind of at the tail end of it. And that's why I want to change the world and change people's perspective on things and make things hopefully a better place for at least one person that comes and sees my work or talks to me or anything. So yeah, but the creative process is like draft after draft after draft. And the ideas, like I said, can come from anywhere, anywhere, anywhere. And I'm like, and anywhere is anywhere. And I think that including real life experiences, with a lot of musicals and plays today. I went to New York. So my play went to New York, starting it out, went to New York for 2 weeks, 2 weekends, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Okay, for 2 weekends, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon. So we only had one matinee that was for Sunday, but altogether 8 performances. So 4 in the first week, 4 in the second week, and believe it or not, half of the run, which means out of the two, we collectively half of the run sold out,
Wow.
which is kind of interesting. Thank you. Which is kind of interesting. And when I went to New York, I'm like, and I walked the streets of New York because I wanted to see my play. This is why I didn't really like my work in New York, because the director fucked it up, of course. And he didn't really consult with me as a writer and even as a set designer. Because I even sent him a package up to my whole set because I want to be a set and props designer, like I said. But I have to go to university to do that, which is bullshit, in my opinion, because just to give somebody a model and an AutoCAD drafting and say, here, build it. Are you nuts? And I need to go to university for that. There should be separate design schools instead of production and design. Is if somebody wants to, but but because of my autism and my disability and my anger and my things, I can't go. And I even got accepted this year to a university, which I don't want to mention which university, because, but I probably will be inviting them to the sorting it out that's coming in the future. And actually, tickets are now on sale because it's the end of February and they just launched, if you know what I mean. So I'll get back to that back in a minute. But when I was walking the streets of New York, I saw plays, musicals, and most musicals are based on movies, soundtracks, or even books. Harry Potter is a good example about books to movies to a stage play. Back to the Future is coming to Toronto. Right now we have the Toronto Live Aid musical, which I can't wait to see. It's coming. This is pre-West End, okay? It's a jukebox musical with songs from Paul McCartney and Bono and the End, formerly of U2, and other, and Paul McCartney, formerly of the Beatles. Which, believe it or not, if I mention the Beatles to some of these kids today, and I'm talking about the young teenagers, they don't know who they are. They probably have heard a song or two of them, but you don't know who the artist is, or you don't know who they wrote the song. Like for example, "Islands in the Stream," Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. The Bee Gees wrote that. "Lady," Kenny Rogers. Lionel Richie wrote that. You know, so um, "Locomotion," I believe, Carole King wrote that before she became Carole King. "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?" That's Carole King. That's Carole King. Um, that's Carole King Goffman. And a lot of people don't know the artist who wrote the song, but they only know the voice, and I mean the quote unquote voice, and the style that it's written in, and of course the song itself. But but most plays and musicals, right, have either a book based on a real life event, based on a documentary, basically based on movies, books, documentaries. They're not original musicals. They're not original musicals. And but sorting it out, and the value of many, which is about inclusive employment, which only got a reading in New York right after the New York production of Sorting It Out, right? Right. Got is a reading in New York in December, and Sorting It Out went a few months before August of 2013 and happened in the same year, right? Honestly though, like I said, I was walking the streets of New York, and I'm like, is why is there not anything original? And most of the shows in New York don't sell out, or don't intend to sell out. Like even though they have like Adina Menzel, who was in Wicked and Rent, she's in Redwood right now. You really think that like um like revivals of musicals, all this stuff, and then coming from New York to Toronto, you know, or or the West End, or from the West End to Toronto, or pre-West End, which is right now just the one day, which is, like I said, the Live Aid musical, which is great based on a big event, and Come From Away, which is another amazing show that, believe it or not, has one today, is celebrating their 1,000th performance in Toronto. So 1,000 shows in Toronto. And like I said, Come From Away is based on the two events of 9/11, and I hate to say that, but it's about the planes that diverted in Gander, and they went around because the whole 9/11 bombing, and I dare say bombing, it wasn't a terrorist attack. It was an it was a they put bombs in the thing, and then the whole thing crashed. But people don't know. People don't want, because people don't want the public to know that. They think, oh, it's terrorism. No, it's not. Look at the videos. It's like a demolition. Think
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. You know, would you see any terrorisms have in life come in from a plane to maybe the plane was coming to land, okay, but I guarantee you it wasn't to land. It was, well, it could be coming to land, but not in New York. And when it to land, they timed it perfectly with the bomb, bang, and the demolition happened with the plane inside or the plane near, and because the demolition, you know what I mean. And they don't want people to know that. The families, including the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, I I dare say those two families again. Look them up, because they're the ones who are in control under the direction of Santa. But I say Santa kind of as a joke because Santa, if you rearrange the letters in Santa, you get Satan. Now I'm going to leave all of the people out there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm going to leave all the people out there to basically move the letters around of Santa to try and create Satan. So write down Santa when you have a chance, and then try and work it out because really, and look at what the colors of the character of Santa, and look at the colors of Satan. What kind of mess? Hint, hint, hint. So right, so this is a world of good and evil, and we have free choice. We have free will. Yes, I believe so, but it's free choice as in we are all influenced differently. I'm influenced with than you 16. I'm in, I'm influenced than my brothers. I'm like I love theater. I love musical theater, and I love teaching other people. And my brother is also autistic. One of my brothers is also autistic, but he wants to be uh, early childhood educator, which is great as an autistic person because there's barely any autistic um, child workers or kindergarten workers like that. And I think that everybody's an asset, including special needs people. Like people don't think that we are. We are. Let's give us a chance. Whether we have a degree, a piece of paper, a resume or not, we might surprise you. But it has to be in our wheelhouse. And that's the thing that people don't want to discover. God knows how many times I got, you need to go to college or you need to go to post secondary to do this and technical theater shit. Why? Why do I need to go to post secondary when I'm autistic? And before I thought I couldn't get in, I'm in now. And thank the Lord Almighty, thank God, because if I didn't have that piece of paper, and I'm graduating this year, because if I didn't have that piece of paper, you know what they'll say, you have disabilities, you have autism? Yes. I would say yes, 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 sir. You have no qualifications? Yes, sir. We'll let you know what we want, yeah. Which is not the best thing. Whether you're in Ontario, Vancouver, even to the States, even to any dictator countries, give me a break. Just give us a chance. Like, I don't have a writing degree. I play Don, who directed and produced Sort of out of New York. He never said, "Oh, where did you? Oh, the play's great, but where did you go to write this? University or college?" He never asked me that. He asked me, "Is this play good enough for us to put it on stage?" The same thing with the set. Are you good enough for you to do the job? You don't need. They don't teach that type of skill. And I know as a playwright that I need to be my own entrepreneur, which a lot of these people in college don't even understand. They don't even understand what even an entrepreneur is. They want to go out into the industry. It's about your product and how you sell it. My play went to New York already. And some people are like, how did you do that? Some of the actors, how did you do that? And it's simple. It's who you know that loves your work, discovers your work and loves it, or discovers you and loves you, that can do something for you. As most people in the industry don't do anything for people. They don't want to bend over backwards for, or they don't have an award or something, which is completely not a bullshit. But because if the work is good, it's good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The end product is what matters. What does it matter where you go to school? And if you're creating like great products, like
Exactly.
people, it's been proven like time and again. So I don't know, like
Exactly.
yeah, like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs,
Hmm. Hmm.
they've all done like
Some of them
wonderful
dropped
stuff.
out of school to create some of the most successful companies. Hint, hint, hint. Nudge, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink, wink. Just saying. Go ahead, City. Thank you.
Yeah. So like, what advice do you have for like young individuals who are going through the same
That's
route and like are pursuing like creative careers?
creative. Creative. Well, take what you know already. If you are wanting to go to post-secondary, I'm not saying that you don't have to go. I'm not saying that it's not obliged for you not to go, but take what the professors give to you and make it your own. But remember, other than a lighting and sound technician, because lighting and sound technicians need to be, we have a vacancy for this lighting and sound technician or backstage technicians. And a lot of the people retired throughout through COVID, right? And honestly, but make it your own and believe in your capabilities, but think realistically. Because people think, oh, I can do anything. I no, 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 no. But you have to believe in your capabilities, but try something new, and you might be able to see that, hey, I'm actually good at this. If you fail once, fail is only first attempt in learning. That's the biggest thing I can tell people. Fail is first attempt in learning. That's the acronym for fail. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Why do you think they create um, scary movies to scare you? They're simply to scare you while they're making money, but to scare you, right? Whether it's on Netflix or the movie theater, and make you think that reality is actually worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's. But the four pieces of advice is make it your own, believe in your capabilities, but think realistically. Never give up and work hard because all of them I had to learn, not from anybody, but through my experiences as a writer and as an autistic person. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a great advice. So like, what inspired you to write sorting it out, and like, was it a personal experience, a desire to like challenge stereotypes, or something else?
That's a good question. It was based on a true story. Happened at the Oakland Transit bus. Route 13 out of all numbers, right? And the number 1313. Unlucky, but who cares if it's unlucky? That's a superstition. I don't believe in superstitions. I believe that I believe what I believe, and that's it. And I'm a very spiritual person, as I mentioned before, right? But yeah, it was based on a true story. And the guy was basically ignorant. And he was a young guy, stereotypical millennial, like I told you. And I got angry. And long story short, I don't want to tell you the story because it will take too long. But long story short, I came back from community living local that day, and yeah, I came early that day, and I walked into my parents' house. I said, Daddy, still call him that today. Daddy, give me a piece of paper, give me a pen, I'm writing something down. Pencil or pen, whatever. And he's like, okay. At the kitchen table upstairs, I lived upstairs on the top floor before I moved down to the basement, which is this beautiful room that you see here. And I wrote the first draft of sorting it out at my kitchen table. And I lovingly joke that I have to say thank you, Mr. Ignorant. Thank you to the guy on the bus who was ignorant to me for making my career. So thank you, whoever's out there who hears this. And if you're listening to this podcast, um, it's a lesson to be learned here. So it's like taking a negative experience and making it into a positive, teachable moment. And I think that's kind of the best pieces of theater where you can challenge people's perceptions using that instead of just to quote unquote entertain, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it is based on a true experience. And I think that those are the best kinds of stories. Thank you.
Hmm. So and what are the like core messages that like you want to convey to the audience, and how you convey it to the audience while
Yeah.
writing plays?
Um, so we convey the message in a number of ways throughout sorting it out. It's an actor's play, so we only have four actors, an artistic character, Ed, who's the ignorant stereotypical millennial, his father that comes and he promised um, Nick, who's the autistic character, a visit from him today, right? Not today, but like in the play. And Bob, who is like the caretaker, the homemaker that Ed despises because, but it's like he helps Nick with for groceries. He's like a companion to him. Which I have a lot of people that help me as well, PSWs. And all I have to say is firstly, it's okay to have help. I don't mind having help. I actually love it. Glasses, I love. Because glasses that I wear, I don't care if anybody makes fun of anything else. But if you make fun of me wearing glasses and having help, or if you have, oh, he can't do anything by himself, this you wait until you become a senior, um, or sir.
Yeah,
Just wait because seniors need a lot more help than actually I do. Anyway, so we have those four types of characters, and actually Nick, who's autistic, is the most quiet because I created him based on a kid. I never went to an institution, but what if Nick? He's 15 to play, and and basically he went to an institution all of his life, so that's why he's the most quiet of the play, or quiet character of the play. But what he says is very important, and I wrote him that way. Ed is like the cocky, open your mouth, says things, but to get the audience's full attention, we use the R word, which I don't want to say what it is for the people who know, you know, and and I don't want to say that, but we use that not to make people uncomfortable, which I'm happy to make people uncomfortable. It's a rare and beautiful thing in the theater that instead of laughing or or feeling emotional, you feel uncomfortable. Which most plays and musicals do not do. They do not do that. Like you don't hear a gasp and then people cry by the end. That's beautiful, in my opinion. Those plays are beautiful, but they're rare. They're rare, and that's what happens in any production of sorting it out. We use the R word. It's part of the script, and Ed says, "Well, if you think I'm unintelligibly inconsiderate, I think your friends are beep." And 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 then I said, and then I Nick, I say, "Don't call me that." If he walks up to me, I already did. I hit my head, bang, 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 because I'm overwhelmed. I self and then I push him or I slap him in the chest, bang, bang, and he goes flying and then he lunges at me because I'm angry at this. And now I dealt with you long enough, but now you call me the R word, which I heard too many times, especially in an institution. I'm don't call me that, and now you're in my face. I already did, and that's basically invading in my personal space, which you barely did, which Ed barely did. What? Except for one scene when I stim or stimulation, which is an artistic thing, which is I take paperclip and twist ties and I just work them around, or eye stimulation or eye stimming, which is a part of my autism that comes out in the play. And and Ed, one of the first visual disturbances to Nick that he does is I'm stimming. I'm okay, Nick. I'm okay. Give me that. Bang, and he snatches this thing away. Again, that is my tribute to all the EAs. It says, put that away or I'll take it away, educational assholes. I mean, I keep forgetting that they were assistants. Of course, they were assholes from high school to elementary school. Because to treat a person like that, go put that away or I'll take it away. And you need to go to the washroom and do it. Why? Well, you can click a pen, twirl your hair. Like, you can, like, the knee goes up and down, and, you guys get that's a form of stimming. And people, no, it's not. You know why you say no, it's not? Because it's ingrained in our culture. But when somebody goes with a twist tie and stems, blah 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 blah, blah with, like in front of their eyes, like what the fuck is he doing? And people have stared at me, and then when I say that, they look away. Like why? And but in the play, he's like, give me that. And get, what are you doing? Give me, it's annoying. And that's basically what they are trying to say. It's annoying and it distracts what I'm trying to tell you. You're in the air, you idiot. You're supposed to help me, not take things away that I actually need. And honestly, and I couldn't say anything because if I said something, I would be sent to the office and they would have to deal with me. Which is completely another thing of bullshit because you know what I mean? So it's a domino effect. So I stim because I need to. It's an autistic trait. It's an autistic thing that I need to do to help regulate my behavior so to help make me less anxious. And then, you know what I mean? And then if I stim and I remember all these people empty your pockets, yeah, they wanted me to empty my pockets and they would take it away because I would take it out and stim. How fucking idiotic is that? Done to the, done by the instructions of the doctors, by the way, who are also idiots in this whole world because doctors don't know nothing. They only know how to give medication out. Think about it. Like the doctors don't even know what stimming is, what true stimming is. A regular a regular adult doctor doesn't know that. They don't even know what autism is. They basically know what a disability is in general, but they don't know the nitty gritty. They should. They don't know what fruits and vegetables literally are, and some of them are acid to the body. Some of the so why are you telling me to eat fruits and vegetables when a few of them are acid? Or not Tim Hortons. Sorry, Tim Hortons is has. I'm not trying to say that, but Tim Hortons is great. But I'm talking about tomatoes. They're full of acid. Small, big carrots, baby carrots. No, 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 no. There's no such thing. They take the big carrots and they like shave them down by by a machine. And these guys don't want this out there. Why don't you want this out there? Because they rather lie to the community so they can make money, so they can make the power and the control be with them instead of us. Because if we have the money, we would have power and control. Again, it's all money equals power and control. And money, it's greed. It's greed. It's greed. And with like, I wish I was a multimillionaire so I can basically help the homeless and help the poor and help my community. And it just outrages me that these people, that some people have all the money in the world and they don't want to lift a finger to help anybody but themselves or their rich buddies who actually are more corrupt than actually them. Excuse me for being blunt. Go ahead, Sexy.
Yeah, that's so true. Like most of the decisions that we make is because we're like we have to do it because we're influenced by like money, and it's they've made it so important due to like inflation and everything, and
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
so
of course.
every time
But
we
inflation,
wanna, yeah.
yeah, I'll tell you something. Inflation doesn't count because, and people think, oh, taxes. Like people think they own a home. No, 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 no. You don't own a home. If you owned the home, you wouldn't have to pay taxes. Think about it. Because I own many books. I only I had to pay for them once. So why are we still paying taxes? And apparently, and I heard this on Hydro's free. Hydro is free, but they charge us anyway. Like I don't get it. More money in their pockets. Like they invest billions and billions and billions. Like how much does it take to make a car run or like a machine run or a street sweeper run or a garbage truck run or even a snow plow run since we're in the snow since the snow today, right?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It takes not less than maybe $2,000 to $3,000 with the mechanics inside and everything. I'm sorry. I would imagine the gas. Okay, I understand the gas because you have to fuel up on gas and that's expensive. It's a big truck. I understand, but so is a bus. So is a tractor trailer. They're big trucks, they're big vehicles. So there's no excuse for us to pay extra money to to do that. And think about it. Everything that you own, including our bodies, they own. They own. You know why? Because we're owned by doctors. Doctors give us medication. Not just Advil. Everybody has gotten sick every once in a while because of the food we eat. So if they can put acidy food that can cause diseases like probably cancer and all that, then we have to go see a doctor, and then they have to give us medication with chemicals in it. Woo! Right? It doesn't make sense for them to give us a natural thing because they'll say, "Oh, there's no natural thing to cure." Yeah, there is. You just don't want to take us down. You want to keep rising that cost up because of big pharma, which one of the Rothschilds or Rockefellers started. I think the Rothschilds owned the banks and the banks, all the banks in the world, the majority of the banks, and the Rockefellers own the school system. Why is it called the system? The school system, elementary and high school, and post-secondary is a business. And I dare say that not because it's because oh he's putting down because it's the truth. It's the truth that these people make money off of us. And I was okay. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I could tell you that could basically put me at gunpoint. But I rather get killed, and I dare say that right now, and I told this before, and I'd rather get killed by telling you the truth than lying and being riddled with bunch of a big bunch of lies just to keep me alive. I rather get killed at gunpoint because I know we'll all being me with my spirituality and stuff, which is great. But but that's not any reason to, of course, kill me. But the you know, but back to the Rockefellers, they own big pharma, but they also made the school system. John D. Rockefeller said, "I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers." What does that tell you? I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. And I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't. I want them to just critically think, just at the basic level. So we, is the Rock, because the Rockefellers used to be the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds used to be the Colombo family, Christopher Columbus. Hint, hint, hint. It was all back from Babylon. It goes way back, way back. Okay, and they even have a monument. Rockefeller said in New York, I don't know why they're praising these evil people, these, these sleazy evil people, these families, including the British monarchy. They have a lot of money too. They're part of those families too. I'm not going to put any family down, but when you have a lot of money, you have a lot of power and control. And those two families right there, they have a lot of power and control. And and of course, he said, "I want a nation of workers," and he did that before, and he made the education system in 1909. That's over 100 years old. This this education around there, and basically to have people because it was just before the Industrial Revolution. But you would think after that it would be so simple and everything. No, he was an entrepreneur back in the day, John D. Rockefeller. He wanted to make money. So let's get these guys into factories, and let's make the schools kind of factories because he gave a lot of money to the education system to make it what it is today, a shit show. Where we have teenagers and people stealing, robbing banks, robbing stuff because they don't know how to act properly, and they just have enough information just to learn the subjects, go home, do the homework, come back. And I barely learned anything in school. I was in spec ed, but even if I wasn't, I would learn. I like do I know? I know my simple math, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. But if you excuse me, 42 times 50, I couldn't tell you the answer. Not because I'm stupid, even though I'm autistic, and people think, well, you're smart, you can figure that out. That could be a stereotype that I don't want to get into, you know? Very stereotypical. Because, well, you're smart. I know I'm smart, or my breed is smart. But why am I telling you this? As I'm autistic, people cannot figure this out. And I'm autistic myself. Why am I telling you all this? And I'm autistic myself. I'm 27 years old, over a quarter century old, bit over. And I already had the success of going to New York, having 5 productions before New York, including 4 online, one in Oakville online, and then the other 3 were in the States, and then the so altogether, Sorting It Out had 6 productions, and the seventh one will be in Richmond Hill, which I'm excited to say that next week the tickets will be going on sale for Sorting It Out in Richmond Hill, which I will be playing Nick again, and I'm bringing it back at the Richmond Hill Performing Arts Center. So, and it's the play direct from New York, but with an all Canadian cast, and I'm going to be in it. I'm going to be playing Nick as well. Sorry, I'm going to be playing Nick as well as directing it, designing it. I have the model a few doors down, a few dressers down, the model of the set. I'm creating the music. I created a lot of the stuff for the show because I wrote the show and I know the show the best. I'm casting it. I'm basically doing it all. I bought the props. I'm creating some of the props. I am sourcing the props and everything. And I'm using what I learned at Sheridan in the prop department, which is great with Peter Sheridan, right? Which is, yes, it's a business, like all colleges and universities. And I don't want to get into that because and 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 a lot of other things that I experienced over the years because one person could be knocking on my door and say, "We don't want you in the industry because you back you gave us out our secrets." Again, I'd rather be held at gunpoint or knife point, stabbing point by telling people that yes, this is a business, and everything is kind of a business. How many times have you heard entrepreneurs say it's about the product and how you sell it? Exactly. It's as simple as that. If you have a book, if you have an idea, you have to make it into a product. Your services is a product of what you bring to the table. Think about it. It's all a product. And people don't want to think like that. They rather get a local job, which is basically, I hate to say this, a slave job, as I call it, because the slavery system hasn't gone away. It's just changed from people building pyramids to people working in offices. You have a boss, you have a CEO. Back then it was the king of Egypt. I forget the name, or the prince of Egypt or whatever. Or you know what I mean, right? And now it's bosses, your store boss, your CEO boss, but it's still the same thing. You are a slave, getting paid minimum wage, trying to stay afloat from the water. Like gasping for air when all they want to do is bring you down, but take your money as well. We need to change this, and that's why I'm telling the teenagers out there: if you have a great idea, like I said, be your own entrepreneur. Be your own. You have to think of a really good idea, and you need to know how to sell it properly. It's about your product and how you sell it. And even most people who graduate college who go out into the any industry don't know how to be an entrepreneur. Or there's dozens of even I would imagine free YouTube videos that tell you how to get your product out there. Here's a hint on how to get your product out there, or how to invest in making money. That's another thing. People say, "Oh, invest in stocks." Stocks fluctuate up, down, freaking up, down. So you don't know when you're gonna. It's like winning the lottery. You might win $10 the next day. You might win nothing the next. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awful. Anyway, go ahead, Seti. I hope all this information is making sense to you and to your people that are listening. So if you're offended from what from what I say, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be offended because it's the truth. And I speak nothing but the truth here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry. Didn't
No,
mean
yeah,
to.
yeah, good. Like really good points. Like
Right.
even if when I went to school, I was like, and when I went finally got a job, it's like I had to learn some things, and I'm like, why didn't they teach me
Yeah.
this at school instead of like I was almost shocked. Like you have to get this
Exactly.
certificate. I complete all the courses, all like degrees and everything,
Right.
and then they tell
Exactly.
me to like get certifications. So like, why did I
Exactly.
pay for it?
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. And people, I'm glad you're mentioning that because people, teenagers, just walk in because they're told to. How, how many times how many times in a high school after this you need to go to university or college or you won't become successful? How many times have you been told by the student advisory department at your high school? I'm not talking about the attendance office. I'm talking about, you know what I mean, talking about what's the next step to high school. Many times, many times, you need to get this or you won't become successful, and that scares me as a. Of course, they'll tell you that, but I'll tell you right now, I don't have a degree in playwriting. I don't have a diploma in playwriting. I don't have an advanced diploma in playwriting. I don't even have a certificate. I am a playwright. I didn't even study playwriting. I didn't even watch videos on playwriting. I took a course after I wrote Sorting It Out. That's my course. My mom paid. It was garbage. It was an online course. It's a natural talent, but it comes with time. That's what people don't understand. Talent, you're not talented overnight. It takes practice. It takes hard work. Believe in that you can, but be realistic with people. Be realistic with yourself. Saying and do goals, which like like achieve goals. Like in the next month, I'm going to write this, and I'm going to chop it around to this. Workshop it, but don't ask your friends or family because of course they're going to say, "Oh yes, of course it's good. Of course it's good." You have to ask the people who are going to be so hard on you, but love you to be hard on you in many more ways than one. Because of course, close friends or even friends, they're going to go, "Oh yeah, of course it's good, honey. Of course it's good, buddy." Yeah, and then when you actually submit it, it's garbage, and you don't get an opportunity to play or to sell your product. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
It makes
that's
sense.
exactly. So like lots of things that I like did in the earlier years that made no sense.
Yeah,
Like zero sense. I learned more out of the college. Like I bunked a lot of classes, and that's where I learned
yeah,
more. And those are the things that I remember more. Like I bunked my
yeah.
classes
Of
to
course,
do martial
of
arts
course.
and everything, and these are the
Mhm.
principles that stuck with me throughout my life till now. Instead of like,
Yeah,
and in like back home, like in the like back when I was like home,
yeah,
it's even worse. It's like rote
mhm,
learning. This is
yeah,
write some board on the
yeah,
stuff, and we're supposed to copy it on our notebook,
yeah.
and then we study from the
Right.
textbook. I'm like,
Exactly,
what? It's
exactly. And here's the thing: all textbook books are government approved, government signed.
yeah,
But teachers are teaching stuff that the government signs off on,
yeah,
which could, but because the government wants to make money off of us, it's not that good. Because the government signs off on it, and the government doesn't even know what they're giving us, but they want to
right,
make money off of us. They want to make us so dumb and stupid. And I see this generation, and I thought my generation was stupid. I'm 27. Yeah, I learned more. I agree. I I agree with you on that. I would gladly learn more on a job. In fact, I did. Like I like I learned resilience, never giving up. I learned how to get my play out there. I never went to playwriting school, and they'll never tell you how to get your play out of there. They're going to say it's up to you, but we take the money.
yeah,
It's up to you to get the job, but we take the money. It's up to you. We die.
yeah,
But why are you paying for just for them to teach you techniques
exactly,
that they learned over the years and they accredit it to now? Mind you, some of the techniques are good, but people don't know how to make it their own. People don't know how to make it their own. which is kind of distressing in my opinion, or kind of makes me stressed as an entrepreneur myself, as in, but it makes me happy because there's less competition. Because if you don't know how to put your product out there, number one, number two, you know what I mean? You don't know how to make a good product. Number two, and number three, you know what I mean? Then you quit. You quit. You quit because damn, like how hard is this? It's
Yeah.
extremely hard. The the entertainment industry is the hardest to be in, and you have to hustle. You have to
Yeah.
hustle. It's not like a, a jog or a 10-mile kilometer run to win the race. It's a hustle. You have to. It's a marathon. Somebody described it as a marathon, and I would agree with him. To get to New York, to get to off of Broadway, like I said, to win people over by having a product that's actually good, by having a personality that's actually good. But the personalities are garbage today. But these young idiots that are in college right now, I see people in college and university that are so rude, so rude,
Yeah.
and they're going to be the future generations of what they're studying for. And then when they don't get a job, they're going to be working at McDonald's or Tim Hortons or whatever the heck it is this week.
Hmm.
Awful, awful, because the teachers don't tell them the true secret of getting your product out there. They're going to tell you in general it's about your product and how you, it's about your product and how you sell it. You're right. But if you don't know how to make the product look good or a business mantra look good with your product and a good campaign for that, what they don't, they never taught me that in anything, in anything. I had to do my productions myself. I'm proud of them. Like what I mean by productions myself is I had to get the plays out myself. I'm proud of that. I'm happy about that because people learn from me, and people are inspired by me to do more because of that. It's not because I'm autistic or I brush my teeth and I put on a collared shirt. And of course, I can do that. Any high functioning autistic person like me can do that. I'm not talking about that as inspiration. I'm talking about you went to New York. You sold out half of the your place sold out half of the run. You designed the set. What went to New York? You know, you had 5 productions before New York live, and one was live. So was not there to be proud of, and I'm actually impressed and proud of you. Plus, you got into the Hamilton Spectator, which I did, and many times in the Oakville Beaver over the years, which I did. So am I proud of that? Of course I'm proud of that. Well, but even if none of the even if the Richmond Hill production doesn't work out, which God I hope it does, but I have a feeling that it will. But you never know. We're under. My grandmother always says we're under the sky, Mateo. We're, we are under the sky, which means anything can happen. Anything can happen. I could die the next minute, God forbid. But you know what I mean. You get what I meant. Life is unpredictable. That's what I'm trying to say. We have to be literally a 360 eyesight, and we have to be ready to fight or flight, which most people don't even know how to do. Most people,
Yeah.
especially autistic people, because we're autistic, we have certain behaviors. But I'll tell you one thing: if none of the productions of Sorting It Out happened, I'm incredibly proud of the productions of Sorting It Out before. We got over 220, 220 people across New York, across North America to see Metro. And believe it or not, 220 people would be New York and Oakville combined, over 200. And then on top of that, we have the people online that saw it all over North America. So I'm very, very happy with how my play worked. And I hope if there's anybody in the GTA that wants to collaborate, like I always say, I want to collaborate. Don't be afraid that I'm autistic, and don't be afraid that I'm honest. Embrace both of them because but people know you're autistic. I'm scared. Of course you're scared because you don't even know how to handle us, which means you don't know how to handle basically kind of any person with a disability or anybody, sadly. Well, I can handle my friends, huh? So you can handle one thing, but you can't handle another thing. So one side of your brain can handle something, and another side of your brain can handle another thing. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Honestly, like how stupid can people be to like learn from me? I'm a good learner. I get angry sometimes with sarcasm, jokes, and teasing. And thank you, Sati, for being gracious and open and kind about this interview, because there's some people who I had on interviews that I told them and they tested me. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate being tested. I tell them, please do not joke with me. I don't like it. But then they do it anyway. See what my reaction is. Why? I'm an employer. You're supposed to say I'm not an employee. Why are you doing that to an autistic kid? It's like telling them to go put a shirt on when they cannot even do it. When they're low functioning and they cannot even do it. They need help to do that. Huh? Like you get what I mean? So embrace the non-normal. That's what I'm trying to say. Embrace the unpredictability, but learn from the unpredictability. Because honestly, my play did go to New York. I have the play go in my room. I'm lucky I had it actually now, and it looks quite nice in the frame. But am I proud of that? Yeah, of course I'm proud of that. Am I proud that I went to New York? Damn right I'm proud that I went to New York. In a 25-seat theater for 2 weekends. It's not the best play. I'll tell you something. I'm not Neil Simon or Foster or any of the greats of the. I'm not even Shakespeare for God's sake. But if you want a good, honest, true piece of theater that is educational, it's a one act, 30 minutes, but people don't want to put it on a one act. Oh, we won't make any money. Well, then why did half of the runs sell out? And it was that script in New York. Well, we can change it. I don't want it to change, and I don't want to work with you. Then I don't want to work with you. You know why? Because you're racist. You want it your way, nothing else, Mister
Mm.
CEO of the company, or CEO or the artistic director of the company. You want it your way, so you can make money. No, 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 no. This play comes from New York, and that's why I rarely give my play off to any company because they know they're going to fuck it up like they did in New York. They fucked up the ending. They fucked up the ending, but it has a really good ending. Sorting it out has a really good. The last scene is a tableau of words, of no words, just music and visuals of all the characters coming out, and I don't want to give too much away, but I push Ed in a wheelchair to the side of the stage on. I back away. I look out. I spin. And that's the ending of the play. It's a beautiful ending and the script. It's alive with music and everything. But honestly, and that's why I think performing arts centers and presentations like I would say Nervish, Toronto Live, like performing arts, living arts center, Yorkville Center, Burlington, like all these venues, Chris Ontario Performing Arts Center in Milton, um, in St. Catharines, or or some things like that. Like honestly, I'm willing to work with them, but to do a school performance and an evening performance because I think that this is not only educational, but this could make a profit. I have like, and in fact, we did make a profit in New York. We couped our investments of $2,000, and we made $600. That's rare for an off Broadway show, especially if the playwright is from a different country and unknown in the U.S. Doing only online productions, and they didn't even see the online productions. They didn't even know about my online productions. And one was actually online, one night only in New York. It was part of the Talk It Out Festival, which was a very prestigious festival that I don't think happens anymore. And it was about mental health and everything, and it got a great review, my play. And he praised my play more than the other two plays. I'm like, how I'm skeptical about reviews. And he said, and he loved the show. He's like, he praised the show, and he sees a lot of off Broadway and off Broadway shows. So I'm like, why can't this play come to Toronto in like a 200 to 300 seat theater? Because they simply don't want an honest play, and they want it their way. They want to, they want to put a few lies in, and they don't. They think that it will show off their subscribers. It played in New York and sold out, you morons. You effing morons of theater in Ontario or Canada or even the US, whoever is listening. Read the play, understand it, and work with me here. Because I think I really have something. Especially, like I said, if you went to New York, fucking great. Anyway, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry to be that blunt and honest, but like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And like, but this is how I feel against the community that I'm in, and it's not because I'm autistic. It's because I have a message to serve, and they don't. And because there's a lot of people who are autistic directors who don't even know autistic plays. They don't even know. They work with Indigenous, LGBTQ, um, biopic, which is Black Indigenous people of color. That those are great things, but the one thing that they don't work with is people with disabilities, playwrights, designers, directors. They might have a few, but they're hidden. I don't care. I don't care that I have autism. I'd rather tell you that I have autism so you can understand me and deal with it. Deal with it because I'm a human too. I'm a human first. The doctor's diagnosed me with autism. Idiot. Not to call you an idiot if I can, but you get what I mean. Like, work with me here. Please give me a fucking chance. And I can direct it. I would like to direct it. Like, for the Richmond Hill Performing Arts Center production, I'm adding music. I'm adding an overture, which is it's going to be like a play with music. And it's a brilliant piece that I'm creating. And I would love industry professionals to come and see it. In fact, the tickets are free. Every single seat in the house is free. You just have to book a ticket and come. And I know that's surprising for a performing arts. It's not pay what you can. It's free. And it's going to be the whole 631 seat auditorium. Now, here's the thing. I performed in a high school, which is what I had 129 people, which is like an off Broadway house. That's the first thing. The second thing was an off Broadway house in actual New York City. Now, 500 seats or more is a Broadway house. I'm scared if this thing sells out. You know why? Because I personally don't think that my play could withstand a a full 631 seat house or a theater that big of a size. But if it does, that's beautiful because now I know where I can play, including maybe New York again, or even Toronto. Like, I want to bring this play to as many people as possible. And I want producers or investors, even if you're not an investor of theater, but you love theater and you want to invest in something in the arts, talk to me. Come to me. I would gladly send you a free ticket to play. Like I said, tickets for free. April 29th, 2025 is the full day. Tickets are free. They're on sale or going on sale very soon. I don't know. But it's Richmond Hill Performing Arts Center. That's the day. It's basically that night, probably at 7 p.m. The show will start. Doors open at 6:30. So 6 o'clock is when the lobby opens and everything. And I will be hopefully, if the theater sells out, or I will be there in greeting people. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, and and hopefully if I'm around and I'm available and I want to do it, I'll be greeting people in the lobby. And I can't wait to meet you if you want to come. And I will be in it, directing it, and designing it. We're creating this production from scratch, but this is from New York. And why do I say that? Because the last production was New York in 2023. So I'm so excited to bring this play back to Ontario, and actually, for the first time ever, at a performing arts center in all the world. So this is a brand new production that I think if people like it, it could go on tour. It could have a Toronto run. It could have a Broadway one, for God's sake. Even not an off-Broadway one by the end of August, what I hope. And God willing, people come and want to invest and say, we want more of this. Great. Awesome. Let's do it. Let's do more. Or we want to work with you with set design. Like, I want to be a set designer, but I need to go to university for that. But that will not stop me from doing set design for my own play. Because if I do set design for my own play and other productions like that I have connections with, including in the States, I have a couple companies and people that I love and I'm working in the States with, and all about autism and special needs and all of that stuff. Like I wouldn't want to work with anybody on any project without a special needs aspect, especially a play, a musical, or a show. It has to have a, a special needs aspect to it, a disabled aspect to it, whether it's a person with a disability in it, whether it's a script about a person with a any disability, even disability that they haven't heard of. Not mental health. Mental health is different. But disabilities like autism, like cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, hydrocephalus, um, fetal alcohol syndrome. All these things are mental, physical disabilities. Of course, some are spectrumized and some are not. But I rather work with people like them and work with scripts and designs and create shows with them. Quadriplegics would be another great set of people to work with. And there's very few disabled theater companies if you think about it. Very few disabled plays and playwrights and designers that actually design their own plays. So I'm blessed to bring this play to people, and I can't wait to bring it again and again and again. And I hope people come. Thank you. I, I
Awesome.
think it's working.
So yeah, Matt. Before we go, like, what message
Yeah.
of hope and inspiration that you have, like advices that you want to give to people who are struggling with their, to break free, like you said, get out of the rut of nine to
System.
five, and then stop
Yeah.
being a robot.
I agree, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like schools teach us to be robots, or not literally, but schools teach us to be think critically, but more stupid than anything. So they can take the low paying jobs while the rich people keep getting rich. It's stupid. I would say that I would say a lot of things, but what comes to mind is even if you go to college or university, but you want to learn a new skill, there's two things that are available to you any point in time. One is the internet, and one are books, and the other two is books. Use them. Read. You want to learn cooking? There's a bunch of cookbooks at the public library that you can rent out. I believe I don't know, like a library card might is free or might cost a few cents. Grand, beautiful. I'm happy for that. But if you want to keep going in your old ways, that's fine. You'll get nowhere, in my opinion. But like, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. But learn something new. Try something. If you and I always say this: if you can get good at one thing, you'll get something good in the other with another thing, and you'll find something that you're good at. But you have to try multiple things. Like there's a lot of people that, like Thomas Edison, I believe, tried over and over and over it again to do the light bulb or something like that. And there was and Kentucky Fried Chicken. He tried a lot of recipes. He went knocking on doors to sell his product. Those are both products, a light bulb and Kentucky Fried Chicken. One is food, one is a light bulb, or the light that we see in houses and all that stuff, right? Now it's LEDs more than LED light bulbs and everything. But still, entrepreneurs try to knock up. You want to buy my product? Yes, sir. I think it's good. Okay, how much? 2.5 million. Oh, grand. Bingo. That's how you do it. So take my advice, not as a grain of salt. Take it to heart. But I'll leave you with one more thing. Like I said before, work hard. Never ever give up, and work hard, but work realistically. But work smart as well, which a lot of people don't know how to do. Work smart. If you know, and believe in yourself. Believe that you can, and but be realistic with all of the things that come to the table with. But if you're good with that and you have a good idea, but I don't know how to do it, there's a bunch of ways to get money. But GoFundMe is a good one, and actually talk to your friends about it or talk to people. There's a bunch of Facebook groups of angel investors, I'm sure. Of there's a lot of Facebook is good to contact people. There's a lot of groups on Facebook. a lot of groups, hint, 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 wink, 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 where a lot of the people want to build up their connection system, including on YouTube. There's like YouTube, you share a channel, you give my channel a like, I'll give yours a like, and we'll share. That seems fair to me. That's even. And we'll share, and you'll share mine, and I'll share yours, and we can get more. That's how you build. And by the time you're 5, 6 years down the line, you're starting to make good money with that because YouTube can start making money. It's hard to get into theater or in film festivals, but YouTube or creating websites, creating products like cards, even Christmas cards, sewing. If you're good at sewing, create a shirt, sell that, create stuff, and then once people pick up on that, brands will start to contact you and stuff and saying, "We like your product. We like your product. We would like to buy your product off of you," and tell them, "You want to buy my product?" Wow, exactly. And that's how you work smart. But I'm giving you a lot of tips here, not as an entrepreneur. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a politician. I'm just a human being with autism that people should be thinking about all this. And yes, and learn from the life around you. Like life is a whole learning opportunity. You don't have to go to school to learn. But I'll tell you, school can teach you what you want, but again, make it your own. Because if you're going to follow the professors step by step by step, and some of the professors don't even give you the full A to Z experience, which is explicit instructions. They give you implicit extra instructions, implicit, which is awful, I think, because it's like they should give they should give you the basic toolbox of explicit. This is one step. You can do it what you want with it. You can make it your own. But like, you know what I mean? And I think that's great. But people don't want to. People don't think like that. People like people think and create new techniques. If you sculpt, create a new technique that you can do. Create a new idea. Like you don't have to sculpt just statues or pottery. You can sculpt a book. Like you can sculpt literally anything. You can sculpt a block. You can sculpt a gift card or like a with a logo in it. Like honestly, that's another thing. Like sculpt out of clay. There's cheese sculpting. There's ice sculpting. There's butter sculpting. Look at YouTube videos on sculpting. It's not just people think, and then people think caulking, which is basically for windows. We use caulking in technical theater and props to make cookies, to make different shapes to do that. Like the white stuff that you see all around, we use that too. Spackle to fill holes in the wall. Yeah, we use that too in technical theater. But there's a lot of products out there. There's a lot of ideas out there, but make them your own and create new ones. That's my advice. And please take it to heart. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Take it to heart because I want to see how many people and more people being in the arts are being influenced by the words that I'm saying, not in a bad way, but actually, he's right. This kid's actually right. Let me try something and see where it goes. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks
Thank you.
everybody for listening. Please.
Thank you so much for coming. It was great experience, like listening to you, like so many awesome points that you did, thoughts that you shared, and even your experience. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Sachin. Honestly, thank you.
Bye. Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.